So I was going over some things earlier, and this was a couple of days ago. I was looking at some names that would be good for Berlanga for his next fight, and this can go for Munguia as well. But this was more towards Berlanga, just because I know he has a fight coming up. They say he has a fight in Puerto Rico coming up. These are tough names for a fight to have in Puerto Rico. You know, usually they'll have a guy who has a loss already, so this can possibly be tough to have. Because what I'm hearing right now is people saying he should fight Mccumby, and I don't know. I just said earlier, a lot of fans was giving a lot of trouble for guys fighting people who just came off of losses recently. So I don't know why a guy who just came off a loss, a knockout loss, is now being pushed by the fans when they just had a problem with that. They said, we don't want to see Shakur Stevenson fight a guy who just came off a knockout loss, who's a world champion. But now that Berlanga just went 12 rounds, they want to see him fight a guy who's not a champion, just coming off a knockout loss. But we're having other fighters try to fight the toughest fight. So I don't understand. I'm confused on that. But I feel like Ali Akhmedov would be a good fight. And I feel like Jose Uzutaki would be a good fight as well. I feel like those are good fights right now to have. I know they another person said that Kevin Shajo will be a good fight. The guy from France, undefeated right now at 168. I think he's the number 2 fighter in France. Might be number 1. I think in Billy is number 1 out of France, so he might be number 1, but he may be number 2. I mean, the guy's decent. He just got one of his fights that was canceled somewhat, pulled out of the fight. So maybe he has word that he can possibly fight in the next fight with Berlanga or someone else. That would be a good fight for Berlanga in Puerto Rico. I think it would be. It would be better than a situation when you take Mccumby out of there. I mean, Mccumby has value. I think he's a good fighter. I was bigging up Mccumby before the fight. Dude got 29 fights. He had 28 fights for us to figure out how good he was. I feel like he was a good fighter. Mccumby and Caleb Plant was actually supposed to be a main event fight. People gave that fight a lot of backlash and said that wasn't no main event fight. Now they're saying that was the fight of the night. Happens like that sometimes, man. Even when you're ahead of the curve, it's kind of weird. But Berlanga, I think those are good fights for him right now. Those 3 guys. I actually do. Anybody else who's a name, I mean, it'll be decent to have right now. But if he's going to fight anybody like Munguia and Pacheco in the future, then yeah, they're going to probably put a lower level, safer name. But those names are safe. Those guys ain't got power like Munguia has or other guys. So it's still a safe fight. And that's what people are looking for, because they said Mccumby. I know that's an exciting fight, but still kind of safe. I was trying to see a higher level fight. We want to see Berlanga kind of still grow. He was just in the ring with Canelo, so why would we try to lower the standards? Anybody lower than Canelo is a tough fight, so it's a good fight. It's an easy fight compared to Canelo. He just fought the best. So I want to see him fight somebody who's still at that decent level. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I got.